Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. We are back for our journey through comic book film. I am Colton Robertson. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And today we are joined by our second guest on this comic book journey through film, a very beloved figure in my Twitter community. We got Blaine Rezach. What's up, homie?
What is up, you guys?
What is up? I'm so happy to have you today. I've obviously listened to many of your show just because y'all cover everything I want to listen to. So you want to give us a little bit of? I wanted to get your insight first. Let me lay the groundwork for the folks here. We are covering Batman from 1989 as our next step in this comic book journey through film. We've got Batman 89 written by Warren Scarron, Sam Hamm, and obviously characters created by Bob Kane, directed by Tim Burton, and it was released on June 23rd, 1989. What an experience this movie is. I haven't watched this movie a ton, and so I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it, Blaine. Go ahead and lay it out for me.
Yeah, there was a miscommunication on my end, because I'm pretty sure that you told me to watch the movie Joker, because this movie's a fucking Joker movie. This isn't a Batman movie. This is a Joker movie.
Right. No, I'm with you. I when I'm watching this, I'm like, Michael Keaton is almost a non-factor. I almost feel like you could have put anybody
in this role. You could have put literally anybody in this role and they would have been Batman, but Joker is the central focus of this movie. I love this movie. Do not get me wrong. This movie's really fucking good. Sorry, I'm starting this kicking off with a big ass fuck, but
no, we cuss literally all the time. So
I really like this movie. It still holds up for me. Every frame holds up for me. I think the only thing I don't care about in this entire film is the Prince score, and I love Prince as a musician, but it takes it out of this weird timeless thing for me.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. Every once in a while, when one of Prince's songs would kick in, it was kind of like, oh yeah,
you're dated.
Yeah, this is 1989.
This is 80s.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm 100% with you. See, how if you could give me a guess as to how many times you've watched this movie, how many times do you think you've watched this movie?
I don't think I'd be able to count on both hands how many times I've seen this movie throughout my life.
Okay, that's exactly what I was looking for, because this was watch 3 or 4 for me. This has not been a staple of my childhood and everything. So the staples of my childhood were more Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman the Animated Series. Those were more my Batman. Michael Keaton kind of missed me when I was a younger lad, so I didn't get to this movie until 5 or 6 years ago. And I think visually it's a very fun movie to look at. I have this problem with this movie where I'm not a huge fan of any of the characters.
Right.
I like some of the performances. I think Jack Nicholson's take on the Joker is interesting. I obviously love Michael Gough as Alfred. That's a staple of the 90s Batman movies. No matter who Batman is, that's Alfred, which
God
is
bless that
hilarious. Man. I love that guy. I mean, Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. I love me some Kim Basinger, but again, I think kind of the same thing as with Michael Keaton as Batman. You put essentially anybody in the Vicky Vale role, and it kind of comes off the same. I think. It was just an interesting movie, and I'm excited to get into it. Joe, how are you feeling about this? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is a first watch.
Yeah,
correct?
I can tell you exactly how many times I've seen it, and it has been one. Last night at that, so not a real factor on the childhood, but at least I knew that Michael Keaton was Batman. It's not like this is like, what, Michael Keaton played Batman? What, Jack Nicholson played the Joker? I've seen clips and some, some stuff.
Right. You're not completely devoid of any contact with this movie.
But I will say, I think the first watch, I think the movie only gets worse on a second watch. And I say that because this watch, I got all of that's such a cool little pull of inspiration from this future Batman movie. Or I see where they got it from. Or what a cool take. But then I think if I go back and watch it again, I think I don't get that kind of first watch excitement, that kind of a season, premiere of a show sort of thing. And I don't think, I think I start to realize oh yeah, all these characters, I don't really care about either one of them really, but I care about the movie somewhat. That's what's keeping me in it. It's not one character. I don't know. It's a really weird dynamic. That's for sure. But I don't know. I think, overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. I don't think it was.
No, not at
bad.
all. Especially since Tim Burton is at the helm here.
Yeah.
Tim Burton fucks it up. I love his direction. And, I mean, the style that this movie is coming with, the Gotham City aesthetic that he put forth for this movie, it's, I mean, probably my favorite Gotham City. I can almost assuredly say that
it's very stylized.
Oh yeah, it's not a general cityscape, like the Nolan trilogy is basically just a blend of
real
Manhattan
life
and Chicago and
it's just Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, it's so, and I mean the most recent Batman movie, The Batman, it was a pretty cool new take on Gotham. I would say it's more a blend of this stylized Gotham and that generic cityscape Gotham, more leaning in the generic cityscape kind of realm, but you can tell that it's still the narrow streets and the narrow alleys and stuff, and the bright lights and everything. That's what I liked about this Gotham, is that it's just grim and dirty. And
is Gotham in New York City? Is that the idea?
I think it's supposed to be New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay. So it's across from Metropolis, sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's why Metropolis, the New York City, and then Gotham. I've never thought about that until just now. I guess the whole. I don't know.
There's actually been a map circulating the internet as of late, kind of depicting an old DC comic that shows where Metropolis and Gotham City are in relevance. And
okay, that makes
Metropolis
more sense.
Is apparently in Delaware. Yeah,
Delaware? Metropolis?
Yeah,
you wouldn't know that from the Christopher Reeve movies.
No, yeah, that's just New York.
It's not in Delaware.
No, yeah,
nothing is in Delaware.
Well, and in my head, I've always nothing is in Delaware.
Can you actually name me anything that's from Delaware?
No,
it's Dover, the capital city.
Dover, I hardly know her.
I think Aubrey Plaza, for some reason, I want to say is from Delaware, who I fucking love. So
fair enough.
I might be wrong on that. She might be Rhode Island. I don't even know. No, but yeah, Gotham. I really loved this take on Gotham, and the Batmobile. That's kind of what I love about this movie is the style, just the way that Tim Burton stylized his universe within Batman. I essentially love every aesthetic thing about this movie. I love Joker design. I love the Batman design. I love the Batmobile. I love the way Gotham City looks. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan about the Batman costume, but there's almost no way to avoid it at this time, is that no matter what, it's connected to his shoulder, so he has to like turn his entire chest every time he wants to turn and look
come
at
on,
something.
That's a patented Keaton turn right there.
Yes. Well, that's what's funny is that like it doesn't take me out, but I did giggle a couple times when he did turn. Like whenever Vicky Vale's like trying to get a look at his face and he like he does the little turn. Like I think that shit's so fucking funny.
The mask is a little chonky. It is a
like
bit
shit
chonky.
in this movie. The cowl looks like absolute shit in this movie. It does get a better upgrade in the next one. But when he and Vicky Vale are escaping those Joker goons in the car, and he shoots the grapple, he's like, "How much do you weigh?" 108. And he shoots the grapple gun up, and he just does this when he looks up, just like bends backwards, like fucking trying to do the limbo.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, that shoot was hilarious. I also love the follow-up line. You weigh a little more than 108.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, damn, man. I was just... She's like, why? He's like, it matters.
Let's see. I guess as of so far, in my mind right now, as far as the project is concerned, the only Batman I know is Batman 66 and here. And I'm trying to think of any aspect that I like of Batman 66 more than here.
I think
the
Batman
Batmobile might be
risks.
close. The Batmobile might be close. The only reason is because in 66 it's clean and simple, but here it's like really stylized and cool, and the shields are kind of, like, whoa, that was kind of out there, but sick. I don't know. I think, but this one, wait, did the other one have a jet engine on the back too in 66?
That's where I think that's where it started.
Mm-hmm. It's the origin.
But no, I think Batman 66 took way more risks because you had like a 5-season television show and then and also a movie. So like you have like all this stuff, and you explored more of like that age of comic books where everything was jokey and silly, and you would have people like
trying to mass murder. They're trying to commit pranks on the hero.
Trying to commit pranks, exactly. So like you have that weird like very PG at the time. Like you have that like very general audience PG. Like you kids are gonna watch this movie. You don't have Batman gunning down people. You don't have people like Batman shoving like a piece of 1989 technology out of his gauntlet into a man's fucking groin. Like,
yeah, no, that was incredible. One thing my like premier beef with this movie potentially is that Batman does go on like a slight killing spree.
Oh my god!
Whenever he blows up the entire Axis Chemicals factory with people inside.
Whatever.
I think only 2 Batman in the entire run of everybody who's played him in a theatrical release movie. I should say.
Yes. Yeah.
Only 2 of them haven't killed.
Yeah.
I guess you could only narrow it to 1 because maybe Adam West killed a man. Who knows? Like if you watch the theatrical movies, Adam West and George Clooney are like the only 2 people to not kill anybody. So when people tell me, "Oh, Batman doesn't kill in the movies," Keaton's the best Batman because he's all like this, and Batman doesn't kill. Shut up.
No, yeah, like he murdered a lot of people.
Murdered so many people, and in the next one more so.
Yeah, like it's not even.
Wow.
They obviously don't even acknowledge like the no kill rule. Like that's never really a thing that even crosses.
Burton didn't give a fuck.
No, yeah, like he goes, you know what I'm gonna do to the Joker? How I solve this problem? I'm going to kill him, and like that's kind of an interesting way to avoid the conundrums that we get in like the Dark Knight and like the Batman when it came to Batman versus Riddler and stuff. Like at least they struggled with that idea. They were like, I shouldn't. Christian Bale being like, just because I won't kill you doesn't mean I won't let you die is
just because I won't.
That one always rubbed me the wrong way.
I won't save you. Doesn't mean I have to save you.
I won't save you. Yeah, like that one, I'm always like, oh god. But I almost prefer for him to just go, yeah, I'll fucking kill you. You know, like
There are only two outcomes in that entire scenario. Like when you shot that grapple gun on Joker's ankle, there's only two outcomes. Either he's going to continue to go and do what he did in the movie, or he's going to let go of the ladder and fucking face plant into that goddamn cathedral wall and still
Right.
get killed. So, like, there's only
No
two
matter what.
outcomes.
Yeah, that gargoyle is still falling. That's the thing. And he's attached to it. Even if it gets over the building, it's probably still going down. Like,
right.
dude's got no shot. I mean, his justification just was that, like, you made me.
I made
I made you. I take you out now.
He's like, "Oh,
I'm
you're
Batman."
such a fucking child."
Yeah,
I love
like-
I love that line from Jack Nicholson. He's like, "Oh, I say you made me. You say I made you. You're such a child. You have to be the center of attention." I thought that shit was hilarious.
You know, I guess
He fucking
To
should.
Michael
It's his goddamn
Keaton's-
movie.
to
Yeah, for
Michael
real.
Keaton's credit, though, like, the Batman before this was not serious whatsoever. This was like the first serious in tone like a real human Batman.
screen. Yeah.
You know? So like this is like that's a huge that's a lot of pressure on his shoulders to be like the first human Batman, you know, and like not comedic. And I don't know, like there's a lot of stuff that Michael Keaton does, like his voice. Was there anyone that did the Batman voice like this before him? Like, was he the first one to do the deep kind of like?
Yeah, because Adam West didn't change his voice.
So like,
Adam West
Like,
answered
even-
the phone as Adam West, and he
yeah,
And
Yeah,
like even in the serials from like the 40s or 50s, whenever those came out, they didn't change them at all either. So
Have you guys
this was,
played the Arkham games by chance?
Yeah.
Arkham City in specific has like so much inspiration. Like the games have so much inspiration from this movie, and I didn't know that until now. Like when I was watching this movie, there were some shots that were like literally exactly the same thing that was in the game.
oh yeah,
And like
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah, and those like that's I don't know, like that's like a lot of the aspects of this movie like were really good. Like a lot of things I really enjoyed about it. Like there were a lot of cool things, like very cool Batman inspirations that weren't corny necessarily. You know, that were like, oh, this one is actually like this is my favorite aspect of any Batman. You know, Michael Keaton. I don't know if I can say that about anything of him. If he did it the best out of anyone. But I don't know. He's the first, and that's big.
That's a
like-
benchmark. That's a benchmark for sure. And you know, I really do like his take on Bruce Wayne too. You know, I love whenever he follows Knox and Vicky Vale into his little personal museum, and he kind of plays them for a second, like whenever they're like, "Oh, and who are you?" and he's like, "Well, I'm Bruce Wayne." They're like,
Yeah,
"What
about
is this?"
that,
It's Japanese.
Mm.
How do you know that? Well, I bought it in Japan.
Mm. It's his I bought the bank moment, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you guys
It's-
brought up Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. Did you know when Michael Keaton was cast, 50,000 letters were sent to Warner Brothers saying that they did not want Michael Keaton as Batman?
Wow.
Was he established
50,000
before?
letters.
Or like
He was a comedic actor. He's like
Yeah, he
Mr.
was a-
Mom and shit
oh
like that.
wow. So did people think that this was going to be like a repeat of Batman 66? Because like with someone like Jack Nicholson too, who sort of he plays some serious roles, but he can play the funny kind of. Well, no, I guess he's more of a serious actor, isn't he?
I mean, he played Jack in The Shining a decade before.
Yeah. So I guess he's
Like,
more known
yeah,
to be serious.
People didn't want Michael Keaton as Batman, and that's now everybody's
well,
like,
he's
they
been-
should bring Michael Keaton back, and they are. So
He'd literally been Beetlejuice a year before.
No one wanted Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Well, that's-
Everyone was like, "Oh, get that Twilight, ew!" Like, "Oh, no way he's gonna be good as Batman." Look at what he did. You
I
know,
like there was like one metric that I saw someone pose that I don't think is like foolproof or anything, but I do think it's like, oh, that's cool to think about, is like what lets you know that a great actor is playing the role of Batman is if you could also see them playing the Joker. And I think you can with Michael Keaton. I don't think that's like foolproof. Like, I don't think that's like, oh, it's only good if you can also see them playing the Joker. No, like like I can't really see Ben Affleck playing the Joker, but I
can't see
love
Christian Bale
his
playing a
take.
Joker.
Oh no shit! I could kind of get there.
He
guess
played
now that he's played
like
Gore.
Gore the God. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think now that he's played Gore, maybe, but like, no, I still can't see it. Like, I can't see him putting on like the whole face makeup and everything. I don't
Right.
know.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's foolproof, but I did think it was relevant with this discussion of Michael Keaton, considering he did play a character like Beetlejuice literally a year before.
True.
Yeah, I certainly could see him playing the opposite side of this coin here. Can't say the same for Jack Nicholson. I don't think he's Batman material.
No, yeah,
Eh.
no. I don't think the suit would. He'd look really funky in a suit.
It'd be
If
funny.
like a suit were to be made around Jack Nicholson's body, that'd be kind of funny to see. But
It'd be like
Guys-
a Halloween costume that I would wear. Where it'd be a little bit bigger. It'd be like a little bigger in the midsection.
It's a
and,
Ruby's
like,
costume
short.
just for you.
He's not 6'3" or anything. He's not a tall guy. It's like,
yeah, that's the thing. That like and because after this, I turned on like the opening scene of the new Batman movie just to watch it again. I don't know, just it was after this, and I'm like, let me just turn it on. Just get some good juices flowing. And it's as he's walking into the first crime scene, and he's like kind of towering over all the cops, because Batman's just tall and he's looking over. And I look over to my girlfriend. I'm like, see, that's why I can never be Batman, babe. Like I'm too short to be Batman. You can't be short and be Batman. You're not intimidating if you're 5'6" and you walk up to someone and you have to look up to them in a Batman costume. It just doesn't work. So
it'd be funny if Michael Keaton was walking around like doing the limbo, looking up at everybody because he was like 5'8".
So I'm comfortable in my life. I know I can never be Batman. That's okay. I got Spider-Man. I prefer him.
Right.
Yeah, I like the suit more. So, I'm all good with that. But
in that armor.
Yeah.
You guys know really quick? Do you guys know about the Joker fiasco of this movie?
I do not.
Dude, I saw it on IMDb, I think, which is insane if it's what I'm thinking.
About the casting?
Yes. Oh my god, please. I want to know more. I just
mind if I
skimmed it.
share?
I want to know more. Yes, please.
Okay. So,
or no, I don't.
Don't want to know more?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
So Warner Brothers at the time, they're trying to figure out who can we get to play the Joker. Well, obviously Jack Nicholson being the big star that he is in The Shining, they took like a picture of him from The Shining, and it looked like the Joker. Well, first of all, they were like, Willem Dafoe is a good casting choice because they were considering Willem Dafoe. Obviously, he just would be a great Joker, even though he's just what a compliment that is.
He's still a popular fan cast to this day.
He still is, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they took a picture of like Jack Nicholson from The Shining, and they colored him to look like the Joker, and you're like, oh, that's our Joker. But we can't get Jack Nicholson. Like, that's crazy. We're never going to be able to get him. So they talked to Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Then they're like, yeah, man, we want you to be the role of the Joker. And he's all for it. Robin Williams is all for it. And he's like, and then they talked to Jack Nicholson. And he's like, yeah, we're considering talking to Robin. We're considering Robin Williams for the role. And Jack Nicholson goes, nah, that part. So they use Robin Williams as fucking bait to get Jack Nicholson. And that completely ruined Warner Brothers for Robin Williams. Like what they did with him in Aladdin. I don't know if you know that whole thing either, but he distanced himself from Warner Brothers for a super long time, because of that whole situation. They used him as to say, yeah, we want you to be the Joker, but we want Jack Nicholson before you. That's nuts. Yeah, that's the second time in this project where he was an original idea for a character, and then they ended up going a different direction. The first time was Howard the Duck. He was going to be the voice of Howard the Duck.
No shit, I did not know that.
And then he read the script. Yeah, he read the script and was like, "Oh fuck no, I can't do this." So that's just hilarious. But
honestly, I don't know. I love Robin Williams, but I don't think the Joker is his role.
I think he would have been more Cesar Romero-esque, Batman 66 type Joker. Where it is a little bit more like I can see him playing the prankster type Joker, not the murderous type Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they also offered him the role of the Riddler, Batman Forever.
That I can see even.
But he turned that down because of the whole Joker thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, we did end up getting Jim Carrey out of that, so
we did.
So I'll take it. But you guys ready to do some favorites?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's get into it. So, as the listeners may know, and as I sent our boy Blaine here the good old doc.
Actually, have it up on my phone.
Perfect. Yeah, we always look for favorite line, favorite scene, favorite shot, favorite performance, and favorite character. So I was thinking we take this one at a time. We all go. We all get one. We all get ours in, and we go on to the next one. So let's start with favorite. Let's start with favorite line. Who's Let's get Blaine. Blaine will have first dibs on all of these. So you go ahead.
I have a couple. They're all from Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's remember, you're my number one guy.
Yes.
My God. Yes, the best, without a doubt, the best delivery. Honestly, I think that was a take that Jack Nicholson did not think was going to make the movie. Legitimately. I rewound it and watched it again because he starts and he kind of goes a little crazy and you can see it in him that he's kind of oh, well, this one's kind of scrapped. And he just keeps going though. And then he kind of can't believe it as he walks off screen. He kind of is that might work. And I think they were just we'll keep it in. I don't know. I've watched it so many times, that scene in specific, because I swear that was just him going
Bob?
crazy.
The guy who plays Bob is actually a personal friend of Jack Nicholson's.
Oh, no shit.
So, they brought him in to, be a pair with Jack Nicholson, so that was cool. But there's also the line of when they're at the, Joker is going through in that big balloon in the parade float type of deal, and Batman swoops in with the bat plane, and he takes the balloons away, and he's just Bob, done, bang.
Yes.
Shoots Bob. All right,
I'm gonna need a minute,
boys. I'm gonna need a minute.
That was hilarious. I absolutely loved that part. What's your others? If you got a few from Jack Nicholson, right?
Those were the two from Jack Nicholson that I really like the most. Where they all deal with Bob, but you can never get past the Michael Keaton's. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. Will, he made some mistakes. Then he had his lights out. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. I was like, I'm so intrigued by that scene because is he trying to act so vastly different from Batman that it would seem like no way this guy could be Batman, or
I think so. That's kind of the idea I got. Is
okay,
that,
cool.
He's out.
He wants to. Yeah, he wants to kind of be macho as well. In the situation, he wants to be all right, I'm the man. I gotta take over here. And he's I'm just gonna go fucking AWOL. I'm not Batman here. I can't just be fucking ninja. Fucking and just take him out. Obviously, so he's got to just go crazy mode and hide all the ninja moves in the chaos. Yeah,
come on, let's get nuts. No, that shit was fantastic. But Joe, you got some favorite lines for us?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. It's boring though. The only reason I was thinking it is because just freshman year of college, this one dude would just say it as he got just belligerently drunk, and I never knew where it came from. I thought it was literally just a random thing that he said.
And you were like,
then
this man's
now,
fucking crazy.
watching this movie, when Jack Nicholson says it, I'm like, what the fuck? That is where it came from? Like, of all, like, anyway. But the actual line I'm going to go is the enema line. Just about him, Batman getting all the press, and that the town needs an enema.
That's a classic. That's a classic. No, but we didn't really go into the fact that this was the first time that on screen we actually got a hashing out of Batman's origin story too.
Oh,
You know, Batman 66 obviously does not give that any.
About that.
Oh, go for it. Go for it then.
So, Adam West was very upset that he wasn't asked to reprise the role of Batman, even though he was 60 at the time. Excuse me.
Come on.
Tim Burton never went to him with this idea. He has said in an interview since then that his thought of Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne during that flashback was to have Adam West and Julie Newmar come back and play those roles.
Oh yeah, that would have been fun.
Then you would have Batman get shot twice or 3 times or 4 times, however many times he gets shot.
Now, that's pretty fantastic. I would have liked to seen that. I've been Leonardo DiCaprio.
I love the fact that Michael Keaton goes on to play Vulture, goes on to link up with possibly the most powerful superhero of all time, Morbius. Insane post-credit scene that makes 0 sense whatsoever, but the team up of the century that we're all waiting
the
for.
Sinister Six, man.
Oh, come on, dude.
Because that makes perfect sense.
Morbius? Throw him in there.
Clearly not just a money-grabbing scheme. But no,
who is also the Joker? Holy shit. It goes so
It's
deep.
all connected.
Vulture is Batman and Morbius is the Joker, and Morbius really has a lot of Joker moments. And
I feel like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny with that big pinboard and all the red strings and everything. Like, it's all connected.
It's all connected. Charlie Day is fucking fantastic, but I really did like the part of the movie where like Vicky Vale like follows him around and he just like places the roses on the spot where his parents were shot and killed and stuff, and she's like, "This motherfucker."
What is the significance of this alley? Why is he giving the alley flowers and not me?
And that was another thing for me that I thought was like interesting, is that like this take on Bruce Wayne and Batman is that like Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne are apparently not super significant figures in Gotham, and Bruce Wayne, everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, like, it's not like of note that his billionaire parents got shot and killed in an alley. Apparently nobody remembers that.
But he is known, isn't he, though? Is he just known as a billionaire? Because, like, in the beginning, whenever he's like, oh, I'm Bruce Wayne, and he was like, oh, fuck. You know, he kind of like...
Well, yeah, I was thinking like, well, they knew they were in Bruce Wayne's house. They knew he was rich and stuff, but as they were like walking around and everything, they were like, who is this guy? Like, what does he do? Like, what
fair.
is...
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So like, I was like, it's just interesting that like, in comparison to a lot of modern day Batman adaptations where like Bruce Wayne is a famous person, you know, like everyone knows Bruce Wayne in Gotham. Everyone knows the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Thought it was interesting that like journalists didn't know that happened.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like people who would report that sort of thing were not aware that, and obviously it was probably a little bit before their working time, but regardless, I did really, really like this take on the origin, especially since like the twist that it like was Joker before he was Joker.
Also, the dude who plays young Joker, young Jack Napier, him in a role as the Joker, he just fucking looks like it.
Oh yeah,
looks like an Alex Ross Joker.
Oh, that's spot fucking on. Yeah, he does.
That's crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that man act in anything else.
Oh, dude, Harvey Dent. Billy D. Williams, dude. Yeah, seeing him I had no idea. I had zero clue. And I mean, I guess he didn't really have much in the movie, you know, a whole
It's
lot,
a goddamn shame we never get to see him as Two-Face.
Man, dude,
Guys,
that's when
read
I
the
first saw
89
him as
comic.
Harvey Dent. When I first saw him come up as Harvey Dent, I'm like, no fucking way this dude plays Two-Face, and I didn't know it. And I'm waiting the whole time, I'm waiting kind of the whole time, and it kind of dies down, and then like near the end of the movie, I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't get Two-Face like at all, like
And
whatsoever.
you don't in the next movie, but you do get him as Two-Face in the Batman '89 comic.
Yep, and you
Yeah.
also get him in the Lego Batman movie.
That too. Yes, you do. I forgot about that. That is true.
Don't forget the Lego Batman movie. Man.
Well. What have we here?
Well.
What have we here? Oh,
Hmm.
Batman. Fucking love Lando Calrissian, baby. Billy D. Williams. What a fucking legend. I almost threw him down as my favorite character or favorite performance just fucking cuz. I fucking love the charisma
Okay.
that Billy D brings to the table. But for my line, I'm going to go classic. I'm Batman.
Little Andor reference now, which is crazy. The guy that he's shaking up is Uluf?
Ula.
Okay, yeah. But no, that's crazy. That like how it lined up like that. How we're like,
the timing of us recording, timing of that. I mean, just last week
wow. And I typed in on the sheet for your line, I'm Andor instead of I'm Batman. So there we go.
No, he actually wasn't supposed to say I'm Batman.
What was he supposed to say?
I think the line was like, I am the Knight or something like that.
I'm vengeance.
Yeah. So
That would've
like
been-
they.
That would
I
have
think
been
the line
really
in the
weird if you went,
original script
I am
was,
the Knight.
I am the Knight. And that's why, like,
He
they
went-
used that in because the Batman animated series was very inspired by these two the Batman '89
sure.
and Batman Returns. Well, yeah. So like he was supposed to say, like I am the Knight, and then he just goes, Michael Keaton goes, what if I just say Batman? And then it just became a big fucking cult classic line, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like it's.
Hey,
I
did that. He did that.
read an article that was like, what are the greatest movie lines from the 1980s? And it was like the top two were like, no, I am your father, and I'm Batman. And I'm like, there had to have been better lines in movies than I'm Batman. But regardless, I fucking loved it. I think it's it's obviously just, it's a defining moment for Batman's history because have you guys watched Neighbors?
Mm-mm.
Rogan and
He's
Zac
my
Efron.
Batman. No. Bale's
Oh,
my
yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Bale's my Batman. No, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. And they go back and forth doing their Batman impressions from the Batman they know. So
Yeah.
I thought that shit was.
An 80s movie quote for you. Say hello to my little friend. There's a
Yep,
little
classic.
actual Scarface reference that is actually Scarface.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Legendary, some legendary 80s movies lines.
Wax on, wax off. Terminator, I'll be back. And that looks like that's about it. So honestly, not that many. And I'm Batman. That's pretty big compared to those.
It is pretty big. It is pretty big. No beef. But how about a favorite scene? How you feeling about that, Blaine?
Ooh. Has to be the bat plane going up to the moon. The logo. It's so fucking 80s cheese, but like, it's fucking rad.
Is that your favorite shot?
That's a really good shot. Like, that's
Okay.
whole plane sequence is great.
Mm.
Like, he can't hit the broadside of the
fucking loved
fucking
it.
barn. Like, all those guns that he has and missiles and shit, he can't hit anything. But like, when he goes up to the moon and you just see the bat logo, it's just like, couldn't get away with that today. There's no way
so
you can get away with it.
Are you taking that whole sequence like as your scene, or do you just want that as your shot?
That whole bat plane sequence.
So you want that as your scene.
That's got to be my favorite scene. The entire
I fuck
thing.
with that. I fuck with that. No,
Okay.
yeah, that is a really fun sequence. That's it's pretty electric because like you see it show up and you're like, oh shit, yeah, like we're taking it here, you know, like you see the bat plane in Batman 66 but it's more the Batcopter at that time.
It's a helicopter.
It's just a literal helicopter.
A literal helicopter
Like-
with like wings put on it. So like
like a makeshift helicopter at that too. Like I don't
piece
know.
together like it's like a bike or something.
Hilarious.
But,
Oh, that was so. Oh man. But yeah, it did kind of just pop out of nowhere.
Fucking loved it though.
What was the line you went with? That you ended up going with, Blaine? I just didn't get it down in the.
Ed, you're my number one guy, and
That's right.
Or Bob Gunn, and then he shoots Bob. Well, it was those two for sure.
A guy.
Gun.
Number one, a guy.
Fucking legendary delivery. But Joe, how you feeling scene wise?
I was thinking of my favorite sequences, and I think like whenever he like in Ace Chemicals, whenever like the whole setup is happening and he falls in the vat and becomes the Joker, like actually, I think that's just kind of I don't know. It was the whole setup was cool.
I loved the smoke bomb he threw down and then watching him rise out of there. Like the smoke bomb's completely ineffective. You can very clearly see him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And why, whenever he comes out of the water, does he come out hand first? Who does that alive? If you're alive and you're coming out of the water, you come out with your mouth or your nose. You don't come out with your hand and then literally just keep it there.
It's not like you were buried alive and you're digging your way out. You're in liquid.
Yeah, swim. Like, go up. Like, yeah, like, how are you doing that? Are
Catch
you
your
just
fucking breath, homie?
Yeah, like, for what are you treading water, but just below, like, just right there to just have your hand there? Or, but no, the inside of Ace Chemicals with I don't know, that whole setup, I really liked it.
I liked that too. No,
So.
what's funny is my favorite comes right off the heels of that. It's when Joker confronts Boss Grissom, and he comes out of the elevator.
Oh
And
yeah.
And he's like, "Is that you, Sugar Bump?" And he's like, "No, Sugar Bump." I fucking loved it just because it felt like this. It kind of felt like a Joker scene that kind of transcends time. Like I can see like any Joker we've ever gotten kind of doing something similar to this. And I think that, you know, in various forms, we've gotten a couple homages to the way Joker conducts business. Like whenever Heath Ledger goes in The Dark Knight and he's like, "I'm going to make this pencil disappear." You know, like, that's kind of his version of the buzzer gag, you know, like, I feel like that's kind of, I feel like those are kind of like the equivalents, but I love to see it, like just the visuals in this scene, the way that he's silhouetted out the whole time. And, he's like all over a woman. I really, really do like that scene. I think Jack Nicholson kills it, and the way he just shoots him behind the back, between the legs, everything, and like I thought that shit was fun as fuck. I thought it was very, very Joker-esque, and I loved seeing it. So I had to go with that scene.
That you saying that, I know I'm kind of moving on a little bit. That solidifies my favorite shot. That was the only thing I didn't have down. Was my favorite shot, and yours is probably the best. It is the one I wanted to go with, but I wanted to be different. I wanted to have something different. But no, that one was sick. Him silhouetted in the office, walking in there. You know, it's like you haven't seen his face yet, but like you know he's the Joker, so like you're waiting for it. But you can the shape of it's like it's a little pulled back, and you're like, okay, something's going on here. What's going?
See the
and
white
like,
a little bit, like coming into play. Yeah. Like,
and his delivery
really
of it
shot.
Too, like
The
dying, like he says, like
elevator.
I've already died once, you know, or something like that. Like like that line, like yeah. What's the line whenever he shoots him? What does he say? Right then and there.
I couldn't tell you here. Let me see if I can't find it. Yeah. Regardless,
is it?
I'm a lot happier. You can call me Joker, and as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
That's right. Okay.
He's like, Jack, listen, maybe we can cut a deal. Jack is dead, my friend.
Damn.
You can call me Joker. But yeah, I that shot is fantastic whenever he's just silhouetted by the elevator. But Blaine, how you feeling about your favorite shot? Is it still the bat plane flying up right in front of the moon?
I love that shot. Don't get me wrong. It's rad. Okay, like, and I don't use that word too often, but like, no, I think the shot when he is taking down when he's fighting the crooks in that alley in the very beginning, and you just see Michael Keaton with the bat with his cape, and he just goes and he just makes a big bat.
Oh yes,
It just descends
that silhouette
on an obvious wire because that's not how gravity works. Like
exactly, and he's not even a good Batman. He doesn't like take the money away. He doesn't like help get the wallet back or anything. He just like lets the crook go. Tell your friends, Batman, and then it's just like,
and then Olaf's like, yeah, he's like, shit, man, I got everything I wanted out of this interaction, and I didn't die.
He's got to use fear as a tool. And how does it start? Word of mouth. You got to have the crooks go to the other crooks and tell them, yo, I just got beat up by the bat. That's how they start saying.
I'm the crook. I'm running up to my homies like, yo, so there was this dude who came out of nowhere, and like he was dressed like a big ass bat, and he told me to tell y'all about him.
That's what I'm doing.
He didn't punish me in any capacity. He didn't take the shit I stole. He didn't beat me up.
He did, however, kick my friend.
Batman.
He did, however, kick my goon friend about 30 yards through a wall.
Right.
I did, however, lay a bullet on him, but it didn't stop him.
I mean, you got to think it's the freaking bat. You know, that's got to start from somewhere.
It's the bat. Yeah, no, yeah. Like what it reminded me of the discourse whenever the Robert Pattinson Batman trailer came out, and it was the muzzle flash shots where the bullets are he's just tanking the bullets off his suit and stuff. And there was a bunch of discourse online about like, oh, Batman shouldn't be bulletproof, and it's like, Batman 1989, this dude gets shot and does not go down. Like,
they even make a line in the movie. He's like, what's he wearing? He's got some type of body armor on him. I guess he's not invincible.
It's literally not even that far out there to believe that a billionaire today, right now, could create a legitimate bulletproof Batman suit. It's not even that far out there. And you believe in the same universe that there's an alien from Krypton that comes down and fucking can shoot lasers out of his eyes and breathe frost breath and fly and do all that shit. But you can't believe a guy can make a bulletproof vest.
Right?
The fuck, like, fuck.
I think it was in the Dark Knight Returns comic book that they established that the reason Batman has like the big yellow oval bat symbol is so that people will target that spot. He made sure that that spot is like a bulletproof area.
Okay. That's like the only bulletproof area of the suit.
Think about it otherwise. Like, he's wearing a spandex cloth suit. Like, you know what I mean?
But is it? Well, I mean, like, yeah, literally in real life for the movie, I'm just saying, it's made out of that. But is it like to be believed that it's bulletproof spandex?
Yeah,
you know,
probably. Like I think Tim Burton just took that aspect because the book came out in '86. Like, he just made it so like Batman's wearing armor, like that armor plating.
Yeah,
I think that's where that came from. I don't know. I'm probably just speculating here, but that's what I'm.
No, yeah. I mean, like, well, there's a very, very early on. I think in like Joker's first appearance, Joker shoots the Batman and he tanks the bullet. Like it goes deep in Batman's history that he tanks bullets. Like, it's just how it goes. But right. No, yeah, that is a good choice for the shot though. The him descending in the background there. Like, there's no fucking bat, and then he just. And it's like, oh, that's perfect. My favorite shot, I am going to go classic with it again. The final shot of the movie. The bat signal behind him on the ledge of the building. I think it's just another example of just classic Batman imagery. And
how do we call him? He gave us a symbol.
Gave us a signal.
Like, I was like, fuck yes, he did. Like,
it's not a call. It's a warning.
Here, it's a tool.
Nah, I fucking loved that shot. So I just went with that. Just another bit of classicness for us. But with that brings us to performance and character, and I think we ought to let's start with performance. Blaine, where are you standing?
I have to say Jack Nicholson is the Joker. Probably gives the best performance in the whole movie. Like,
Okay.
kind of have to, because
agree.
again, like I said early on in the show, excuse me, he's essentially the main character. This really isn't a Batman movie. This is a Joker film. Batman slapped in it.
For sure. I'm 100% with you. He definitely. I went back and forth between Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson for my favorite. I'm gonna settle on Jack Nicholson though, just because he's so like there are moments where I'm not a huge fan of his take every once in a while, but regardless, he's doing something. You know what I'm saying? He's not just like I'm not saying Michael Keaton's phoning it in or anything. I do enjoy his performance as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, but I just feel like Jack Nicholson had a lot more opportunity to have a lot of fun, and you can tell he probably did. Whenever they burst into the museum and start committing climate activism protests by splattering classic art.
Yeah,
that was sick. That was
anything said
sick.
like busts to like look like Joker. I thought that was clever.
Yes, that was fun. That was fun as fuck. And the way he like comes in there and they're like, hit it, and like they just like start dancing and shit. Like I was like, again, one of those Prince moments that's just like, oh yeah, this is 80s as fuck. But still, it was fun, and I have to agree on Jack Nicholson there as my favorite performance.
Shit, in '89 though, hearing Prince in the theater, in '89, that'd be sick. Like
they were in there partying like it was 1999.
But no, come on, guys. The performance goes to Michael Keaton, and it goes to him. Michael Keaton gets the performance, while Jack Nicholson as the Joker gets the character nod. Because Michael Keaton, he did this. He established, kind of for real, the first serious Batman. And he like a lot of things that Batman still do to this day, which is insane.
That's true.
Jack Nicholson, literally, some of the shots had to have been just like a one take, and they're like, fuck it, good enough. Like, I mean, like, like, I swear, it's hilarious, because it just works with this, is the thing. It's like, I feel that way, but I love it. And that's why I'm giving him the character nod, is because he made the movie so much fun. And like, when Michael Keaton's on screen, I'm like, okay, like, let me see how he does. Let me see how, he can be as Bruce Wayne. Which I think he did a good job as well. And then when Jack Nicholson's on screen, I'm not like, oh, okay, I'm not looking for any, award-winning performance here. I'm just looking for what goofy line he's going to say next, or what gag he's going to pull, is like, sort of thing. So, so I mean, I originally had Jack Nicholson as the performance, because I love Jack Nicholson, just because I love The Shining so much, and just seeing him in here, it was, I don't know, I don't know. Don't really like Jack Nicholson as a person, I guess. I just like his roles, or I guess one role in specific. But no, I got to give Michael Keaton the nod, because this is a huge undertaking, even though he's the second Batman. This is really the first that I would say is the first real Batman.
I respect it. So
yeah, because I was gonna give Michael Keaton the best character, because of how many traits that they've taken from him.
Okay,
that's where I was thinking, is given character traits to
the different perspectives.
They're both interchangeable in that situation.
That's good. We got both. We got it all covered, though.
No, I respect that. I'm gonna go way out of left field for you for my favorite character, because I did say that I didn't really like any of the characters in this movie. I'm going Alfred. I fucking loved Alfred. Whenever
I'm going Bob. Fuck it.
I'm going with Bob. No, yeah. Whenever he came in, when Bruce was talking to Vicky and Knox, and he was like, Commissioner Gordon has left rather abruptly, and he's like, that's all right. And then he's like, no, he left very quickly. Get the
He's
fuck
like,
out
"Oh,
of
shit.
here. You know,
Oh,
like,
shit."
fucking love me some Alfred Pennyworth, man. So, like, I had to.
We haven't had a
was
bad
well
Alfred yet.
Never been a bad Alfred. We're like 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 or however fucking many Alfreds there've been.
66.
How do you go
Can't
wrong?
speak. Can't speak for the in between ones, but the ones here and before and
Fucking loved Batman
Christian Bale,
66
yeah,
Alfred too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Theatrically, 66, 89. We got Michael Caine in the Nolan trilogy. We got Jeremy Irons, and we got Andy Serkis, man. So, like,
God, that's just such a fire succession there, especially at the end with Michael Caine, Jeremy Irons, Andy Serkis. Like those are just phenomenal actors. And
Crazy.
I'm sure this will not be the last time I choose Alfred as my favorite character in a Batman movie, which is kind of
probably not.
Yeah, like I absolutely love. I mean, like whenever we get to Batman and Robin, that's some all-time Alfred shit right there. But yeah, man. So that solidifies all of us there for our favorite line, scene, shot, and performance. But are we ready to do a little rating?
I think it's time.
It's time.
Let's do it. Obviously, we're a bit mathematical here on the Penny Bloom Pod. We have 4 ratings. We take the average of these ratings, and it becomes our overall rating for the movie. The first one will be enjoyment, just how much this movie is resonating with us on a personal level. We got genre, how well this movie is fulfilling. It's sort of this one's going to be interesting because it's pretty much purely an action adventure flick. You know what I'm saying? Not I wouldn't consider it a comedy. I wouldn't consider it a drama. You know, so like we're going pretty strictly action adventure here. Adaptation, because we didn't want to have to qualify a critical or enjoyability rating with like, but it was a bad adaptation. You know, there are good movies that are bad adaptations. There are bad movies that are good adaptations. So we wanted to be able to fairly rate that all unto itself. And then we've got the critical rating, where we take all things considered: acting, writing, direction, score. All these things are considered and more, and it becomes the critical rating of the film. We take the average of those; it becomes the overall rating.
You rhymed there.
Start.
I don't know if you caught that. You had a nice.
I also gave him a. I gave him a little.
That was nice.
Reading guide.
Nice.
So I give the guests some heads up before the movie, even. So like just to.
Oh yeah, I know. I've got it all laid
little...
out here. So.
Yeah. I was like, we do things a little convoluted every time I remember when Tavares saw our rating system for the first time, he was like, "What the fuck?"
This is laid out, and I love everything about this. Like, I'm taking this as the Bible at this point.
Absolutely. But enjoyment wise, where are we sitting with this movie? Blaine, I want to get sort of your feelings first, because me and Joe have become sort of one mind on a lot of things. But
that's fair. I'm giving this movie. So I'm looking at your rating scale. Enjoyment, I'm giving this a solid 9. Like I'm loving this movie. Michael Keaton still isn't like my favorite Batman or anything. And he never really was, but I'm loving this movie, man. Like this movie, like I said earlier, holds up for me, even though it's from the 80s.
All right. I respect the shit out of that. I'm not quite as high on this movie as a 9. I
feel like that's the ceiling, would be a 9. But not too far off, I would say. Because Superman 2, we gave a 7.
Important note, we did not do the Donner cut.
Yeah, and
I was going to ask that, yeah.
I come back to Batman 89 before I come to Superman 2. I go to Superman 1 first, that's for sure. Superman 1, Fox is the king and is still the king of this project so far. But I think this is like an 8, maybe.
I was about where I was coming down. I was
7, 7, 5, 8. I would say. Oh
yeah, no. I'm right there with you. I end up right about there, at about an 8. And so I'm That's my thing, is that like I could see myself going as low as 7.5. I could see myself going as high as 8.5. I'm kind of in this range. So I want to something I wanted to do with the guests and that I'm excited to do with the guests is kind of keep track of your rating, your specific, exactly what you came to. So I'm gonna keep track of what numbers you give everything, Blaine, and I'm gonna end up spitting your rating. So you gave it a 9. Joe, where are you thinking you're coming down at?
I think I'm at, because I was thinking 8. 8 is like really good, is the thing. And I mean, I did enjoy this. I think I will definitely watch this again. That's for sure. This is not a one and done.
Are you
movie.
feeling 8 might be a little bit too kind for how you're feeling about it?
Maybe. I think I'm high off of the first watch. I think I'm high off of the seeing all the inspirations and stuff. If I take this movie in a vacuum, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be a big drop off at all. I mean, it'd be like 7. 5 would be the lowest. Yeah, like.
And I say we split that difference. We go 7.75. You cool with that?
I can get behind it.
All right. Blaine, as far as this is fulfilling the genre, how are you feeling about it as an action adventure flick? Obviously, all these are superhero flicks, so we get a little bit more specific. So, how you feeling about it?
I just want to make sure quick. So, like, looking at the doc you sent me, you have 1, 5, and 10. Is that like limited, or can I go like between those?
You can go anywhere in between. Anything. Like, I didn't know how to specifically.
No, you're good.
Like,
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I would go more like critical to be compared to genre, like the way that I rated the critical stuff would be.
That's fair.
More
I think this movie knew exactly what it was, but I'm not ready to give it a 10. I'd give it a solid 8. Like
8. All right.
There's good action shots. There's good fighting especially for the time, and limited like how much you can move in the Batman costume and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. Like I feel like you could have done. They probably could have done stuff differently at that time, and I don't feel like it pushed boundaries enough. If I'm comparing this to, say, like Superman made me believe like a man could fly. This movie didn't make me believe I could go out and be Batman. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you. That's a good comparison. We gave Superman a straight up 10. We gave that genre defining sort of like that's it.
This movie knows exactly it's a joke.
What it wants to be.
Like,
yeah, exactly. I think that's important. It's and I actually come down in a very similar spot as you. I do end up being at about an 8, and maybe a little, just a little lower, but like even then, like I think this movie did know exactly what it was. I think it executed essentially exactly as it meant to. I think that I don't think they were like, shit, well, we kind of fucked that up. No, I think they did exactly what they wanted to do, and that can never be discounted. You know, I think that's always, whenever a director or a filmmaker's vision is executed properly, it's hard to go, but you did bad at it. No, like at least you did exactly what you wanted. So like I end up right around the same spot. The same spot. Joe, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of cool gadgets that Batman uses, like that one split made a
where does he
zip line on the spot, and got a lot of cool gadgets. The Batmobile, did the Bat plane have a name? Was it just the Bat plane?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
It's essentially what it's called. Yeah.
Just the Bat plane, the Bat
everything
Batwing. That's what it's called. The Batwing.
Ooh, the Batwing. Okay, thank you. I felt like it had a name. It felt wrong. But no, yeah, I'd say like it was really awesome, and the action was not bad for the time, because
put on them.
That was a very stark difference whenever I put on the new Batman, the opening scene, and I get the "I'm vengeance," and then him beating everyone else up, and I'm like, holy shit, this one scene tops all of the action.
Whenever he
that I
like
just
comes
watched.
cross face and then backhand, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's
like
nuts.
I mean, it's like that already is better than all of the action combined of Batman '89, pretty much. You know, well, I don't want to discredit it that much. That's a little like for what they had.
This had a lot more camp action, you know. Like I'd even consider like
the threat, like
was camp.
Yeah, the threat of like the cosmetic beauty items. You don't know if you're gonna die or not. Go ahead and try. Like that's
everybody getting
sick.
all fucking dirty and shit.
Yeah,
like pimples growing on their faces and stuff.
Yeah,
They
got like moles and stuff.
I think I don't know. I like 8. I think 8's good. I think it did a good job.
I'm right there with you. And adaptation wise, I don't think it falls very far either. Blaine, how you feeling there?
I don't know. Like I have a hindsight of seeing how many comic book properties at this time, seeing how many different variations of Batman. I'm given, especially being a Batman centric movie, and they focus more on the Joker. I'm giving this an adaptation of an 8 again. I think Michael Keaton did great. I think Jack Nicholson did great. Like as a whole, it's just not quite there.
Yeah, it's honorable. It's honorable, but they didn't like. Oh yeah, that was perfect. That's exactly what I want.
They paved the way for many different adaptations since this movie. Like they go back to this movie to get inspiration, but like, which I dig. Don't get me wrong, but like as a whole, if I'm comparing this to like a comic book version of Batman, it's just not quite there. And it's a good adaptation, but it's not the best.
No, I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. And again, I'm falling around a very similar place. You know, we usually consider it with the comics that came before it, less so than the comics that came after it. You know, so when it came to like Batman 66, we gave that a 7 because the golden age of comics and the silver age of comics, it was kind of like, yeah, they did a pretty great job of adapting that onto screen. And I think that with the Batman comics that came before this movie, it did a great job. I do have again a little beef with him blowing up a building and killing a bunch of people inside and having no remorse.
That was off screen though. Off screen. Can't confirm that they're
can't confirm. They all made it out.
Can't confirm. Yep. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm gonna say his name. Let's say his name, guys. When Zack Snyder did his BVS watch along, it's like, oh, I'm sure those guys are fine. Oh, I'm sure those guys are fine. Batman's just mowing down those cars with bullets. They're fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, like every bullet missed them. It's all good.
Everyone missed them. Their cars.
It was more. It was a warning. You know, it was a warning. But I end up being probably more around a 7.5. I think for this one is kind of where I end up being.
I think that's where I was. Because I think it did, like, the genre score of an 8 makes more sense. Like, the movie knew what they were doing, and 8 feels confident. As far as, like, adaptation, it's like, I don't know if I can be that confident in it, but it's like, it's barely off at all. Yeah, so it's like it's very honorable, very good.
Spirit of Batman and of Joker very, very meaningfully. And Vicky Vale, you know, like, Vicky Vale was a very good adaptation, I think, as well. Alfred was always going to be Alfred and shit. So
Alfred's always a 10 out of 10.
Alfred's always a 10 out of 10 adaptation. You got to really
Alfred ranking for this movie, 10 out of 10. Or that's just a constant. Yeah.
But no, yeah, like I think I end up being a little bit lower, but not too much lower. So I think that finally brings us to the critical rating. Blaine, how you feeling about it?
Overall, I give it about an 8.5.
8.5.
I really like this movie. I'm glad they're gonna be visiting this place again. Come Flash next year. Well, it'll be next year by the time this episode comes out. But come 2023, like, this movie's very solid. It knows what it's done. It knows what it's doing. Like, Tim Burton has his style, and you can see that. Yeah, I think overall 8.5. It's a good adaptation. It's a good movie. and it obviously paved the way for what we have today in terms of the
I respect
characters.
the shit out of that. And an 8.5 overall is not far off from what your average of the movie comes to. Yours on the old tomato meter would be an 84%. 8.4. That's your overall score that Blaine gave this movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's a good score. That's a real good fucking score.
Yeah. If we were to give it an 8.5, that would mean it would be better made than Superman 1.
We gave that an 8.
Opinion. So that's tough. Comparing those two movies, how they're written, Superman is better written.
I think so too.
I think that's kind of without a doubt. But I don't know. It's like that wasn't really the focus. The focus was just supposed to be, let's show off some cool Batman shit and let's have a funny ass Joker.
When it comes to style, I think this movie does wash Superman. Like it's like it just had a lot more. It had a lot more about it. I do think the amount of heart Superman brings to the table, I don't think Batman quite does that. I again find myself at about a 7.5. Maybe even a 7. But
let's see. We do some Kowalski analysis real quick.
Let's get it.
Kowalski analysis.
7.69 or 7.56.
I like the 7.69. Do 7.
I do like 6.9.
Yeah, of course I like 6.9.
7.5. That is where my gut was, actually.
That's where my gut was as well, and that ultimately brings our rating to a 77% on the old tomato meter for
that's
the
fair.
overall.
I think overall that's fair. I think I wasn't.
That's why I like getting the guests in here. That's why I like having the different perspectives. I like getting everybody involved, and I like having one of our goals with this project was to be a little more critical than we were on our last project, where we were we got caught up in our rating system on the 5-point scale, and it reflected very, very kindly on every movie. So we wanted to be like, all right, let's really, really try our best to be a little harsh. And I think a little harsh, 77, still not bad. That's a great fucking movie. That's a good movie.
Oh, that's solid.
IMDb gives it a 7.5.
Okay, so we're kinder than them. How about Rotten Tomatoes? What's it sitting at on the Batman 89?
Let me get her pulled up real quick. Didn't have it prepped. That's the thing. There's so many Batman movies. You gotta type in the year. And years. There's too many Batman movies to choose from on here. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all cool. You're all good.
Huh?
Is not at 100.
Oh, okay. No.
73.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. Hello.
73 critic score, 84% audience score. Hey, look at that.
Wow.
84% audience score. That's exactly what Blaine's was. That's spot on the fucking money. Look at that. Look what God made. But hell yeah. With that, I think we conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom podcast. It was a great joy. Thank you so much, Blaine. Do a shameless plug for me real quick. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you so much for having me. You can follow me at the Blaine96 on Twitter.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Blaine, for coming through. And we're gonna have you back. We're definitely gonna have you back.
Oh, hell yeah.
You claimed Batman versus Superman, so you will be back for Batman versus Superman. I know that for a fact.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yes, that's yours, and we'll continue to put out open calls, and anything that's appealing to you, just let me know. You are always welcome.
Thank you so much.
By the way, that podcast comes out around April of 2024. Batman v Superman. So
it's
we'll be covering before you guys do.
It'll be ways down the line. Thank you so much, Joey, for being here. Joseph George, thank you very much, homie.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And I was Colton Robertson. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including comic book poll lists weekly, book reviews a lot of the time, movie reviews a bunch, if any comic book movies that are coming out right now, they're going to get reviewed on Patreon. You know, we're not going to cover anything on the main show, comic book movie wise, until it comes up in this project. So like it'll be a ways down the line before we get to that stuff. If you would, head to Twitter, follow at Penny Bloom Pod, follow on Instagram at Penny Bloom Podcast, and remember, peace, love, and bloom. And have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of moonlight?